Quentin Tarantino got a new one out there. You know, when Quentin Tarantino drop a movie, everything else just stops. Apparently Quentin Tarantino's on some shit right now too. Look, serious Tarantino. And in a way, it is getting back to serious Tarantino. You know, Tarantino was doing all this, you know, all these little funny ass movies,
these
you know,
comedies.
These genre films, you know, these geek ass movies, you know, these westerns and these martial arts fantasies and alternative histories for World War II. You know, we actually killed Hitler. You know, and
Slave comedies.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a comedy to me. That was a tragedy. The ones that made white hipsters this close to saying nigga in front of their black friends. He's got this movie right now that's a little bit different from what he's been doing before. It's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And Martin said, some people got feelings about it. He said about people, he means me. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one that probably has some of these feelings out there, but I don't know. We'll ask Martin about that after we watch the trailer. And we'll see why this is a little bit different from what he's been doing. And a lot of people are not just having feelings about it. Well, they might be having feelings, but good feelings too. But one has a great cast. Let's go ahead and take a look at all that with this trailer, and we'll be back with our review.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
You know what? Before we even get into this discussion, who the hell is playing Bruce Lee?
I know.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, I was like,
check
man,
myself. Wait,
everybody want to work with Quentin Tarantino so much they're coming back from the dead. I looked at this. I mean, I got to watch this again.
Lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you.
You know, I was like, why he's got the mannerisms down, the jawline, everything with him, man. I'm just impressed with the casting with this movie, man. I mean, besides Bruce Lee coming back from dead, I'm looking at this is for some people this is dream casting right here. This is you have Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, maybe I'm missing something, but have they ever been in a movie together, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio?
who could afford to have both of them in the same movie?
Exactly.
That's very true.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, him or Scorsese, they'd be the only two.
Yeah. It's because, I mean, say what you will about Quentin Tarantino, and believe me, the man has got his flaws, but I do respect. He's kind of like Tyler Perry with me. It might be some things that I don't like about him, but when he makes something that's good or he does something that is absolutely great, I'm entertained by it. Credit where credit is due, man. And Quentin Tarantino, that's why Hollywood that's his buffet, man. Mm-hmm. He can just pick anybody that he wants to. Ain't no nose in Hollywood for Quentin Tarantino at all. A lot of people don't have that luxury like that. I mean, the man only makes a few movies. When he does, they are true events.
And he announces them with a megaphone. The ninth movie by Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. All right, man. It's only 9.
I don't think you heard me, man.
Not even in double digits yet. Chill.
I mean, it's something where I've heard him talk. He don't look. This is a man who knows that he will use the words legend and genius about himself. I've seen him in an interview where he's actually said, this is gonna be my last movie, man. Why keep going ahead when I can just make this one movie right here and go down as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, huh, man? Just stop where your head, right? You're like, sure, man.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Now, you want to suck my dick?
Let me see your shoes.
Feet. Hey, what are you doing, man? Hey. Nah, man. That's why when I look at this, I'm actually excited about it. It's not just because of the of the casting, which is definitely a part of it, man. I mean, this is going to be legendary just because of having 2 Hollywood legends in the movie, directed by a Hollywood legend. And this is and the reason why I really like this though is because, like I said, man, he's veering away from all that geek genre stuff.
Yeah,
that
finally.
he was doing.
Jeez.
Yeah. to me, look, this is me. I'm not talking about anybody else because I can see the greatness in the movies that he's done since Jackie Brown. But I'm not a big fan of. I'm fans of parts of it,
Right.
But I'm not a big fan of Kill Bill. I'm not a big fan of Inglourious Bastards.
Glorious Bastards.
Hateful Eight. Yeah,
Django Unchained.
You can get the fuck out of here with that. I was one about to get his ass. Well, you better be glad Sam was protecting your ass, Sam Jackson.
DiCaprio was good in it.
No, I watch that scene all the time on the internet. That's why I say I'm not hating, man. He really is a genius director, man. He's amazing, and maybe some things don't appeal to me, but personally, I'm glad to see him get back into something a little more grounded here.
Would you say it's grounded though? Because this is like Hollywood in the '60s.
Well, he's still geeking out. He's geeking out in his
Baby
Hollywood
steps.
way.
Yeah, I'm about to say like, this is still kind of a genre geeky film for him.
Yeah.
But it's moving away.
Yeah, he's still geeking out in certain ways. I'm sure Bruce Lee ain't got nothing to do with this story except that he loves Bruce Lee, as you saw with the yellow jumpsuit in Kill Bill.
Right.
Even the
Is that a
tie.
Bruce Lee action figure?
I think it is.
You can get a picture.
Can I get a real picture? It has got a Getty Images tag on it. It's like, I know there's a Getty Images picture of Bruce Lee.
I thought he was just shiny, man. He just got through working out.
He's not aging. It's weird.
Wow, man, he's so smooth today. He must have like cocoa butter.
He drinks a lot of water.
Yeah, he just hydrated, man. He spritzed himself. God damn, it is an action figure.
I
wasn't gonna say nothing, man.
Because I was in Dallas at a comic book store and saw that action figure, and it burned itself in my head because I was like, "Damn, that's a really good action figure."
Yeah, it was so. Hey, man, it's so good it fooled me. Damn, he's wearing a lot of makeup today. But he's geeking out still. I mean, he's going in there and talking about Bruce Lee and putting him in the movie. Oh, and that guy, you can actually read up on the person that is, just in case you want to, just in case you're like us and like, damn, who is that person? He is a martial arts expert that's playing the role right there. I'm looking at this on People magazine. Mike Moe, he's going viral for going off against Brad Pitt as Bruce Lee in this trailer. So it's an interesting story, man. It's for those. I definitely was going to be looking this guy up and reading about him because looks like he's already doing an incredible job. But he's also geeking out. I mean, just with the title alone, he's geeking out with Hollywood. That's an homage to Sergio Leone, Once Upon a Time in the West, Once Upon a Time in America.
Mm-hmm.
So great films.
Once
by
upon
the
a time
way.
in Mexico.
No.
I was wondering if you're gonna catch it.
Put the break on that real quick.
No, hell no. That's how you know they geeks. One already made the Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Now he's in Hollywood. Now I should make Once Upon a Time in Waco.
Ooh, don't do that.
I watched that.
Gunshots in Dr. Pepper museums.
Well, it potentially can be. Oh man, that sounds cool. You just sold it right there. Can you be my marketing guy? How'd you sell this, man? Gunshots and Dr. Pepper. That's it. I mean, potentially it can't be any worse than where this is going to go. Because like I said with the cast, I'm glad to see them being used in this movie because it is something that's, when I say grounded, of course he's going to geek out, but that's him. His love of cinema and Hollywood and all that kind of stuff is going to come out the way it does for him, and it's worked for him. But I'm already loving the look of this movie, man. We talked about Jordan Peele tonight and how much he's a craftsman behind the camera, as a filmmaker. I've always Quentin Tarantino's always one of the guys I looked at just for his filmmaking alone. I love his use of black and white in the movies. You can tell Quentin Tarantino from just his lighting. You can also tell him from like his use of second unit shots, man. I know I'm geeking out right now, but I love that he's applying it to the 60s. I mean, this looks amazing. And plus, I already just like 60s era fashion and art. So I mean, shit. Look at our backgrounds here. I want to see how he plays with this in his way. Mm-hmm. And he loves 60s music, so you know it's gonna have a great soundtrack.
Right,
you could hear some of it in the trailer. He loves 60s music, man. You hear it all the time in his movies. It looks like a lot of fun, and that's the problem. along with one of the best pieces of casting in the movie besides Bruce Lee. Because this movie centers on Sharon Tate also. Sharon Tate, who's going to be played by Margot Robbie, who looks just like her. I mean, it's uncanny how she looks almost like her in this film right here. And other pieces of casting in here are good as far as getting people that look like them. Damian Lewis, they got him cast as Steve McQueen.
Oh, really?
I mean, look at that, man. Yeah, I mean that's again. He knew some people to pick for certain iconic actors that are going to be in the movie. Two things that happened. I think Burt Reynolds died during this, and another person died recently. Who was it that died from 90210? Luke Perry.
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry's in the movie also.
Oh, really?
I don't know who he's playing, but he's in the film. I think they had to replace. What's his name? Burt Reynolds. Might be replaced with like Bruce Dern or something. I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bruce
Dern.
Dern.
I know. Yeah.
Old ass Bruce Dern.
Who's just mad. They just hire when you need an old angry white man. You get Bruce Dern.
Just mad. Yeah.
He ain't even acting no more.
He
He
can
just
sing
mad.
"Happy Birthday" to you and sound pissed off doing it.
Happy birthday, you fucking asshole. What do you want?
Thank you.
Could you be nice? I'm being nice.
Now blow out your fucking candles and leave me alone. But the thing with having Sharon Tate in the movie, and this is I think some other people might be talking about this, but I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, because I heard about what the movie was going to be about earlier, and it's going to be set against the Sharon Tate murders. Ooh. Sharon Tate was the wife, pregnant wife of Roman Polanski, and it's a horrible act of violence that was done against her and several other people.
Yeah, the Manson family
that was at this party. I mean, I'm not going to even give the details, man. Read it, and you'll be horrified by this. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm looking at this trailer, and I'm having such a good time watching all this stuff, and they're cracking jokes, and then I have to see this set against the Charles Manson and his disciples killing people, and you even saw a glimpse of young Charles Manson in the movie here, who was played by actor Damian Harriman. So he's in the movie. I just don't know how I'm going to go in here and seeing Bruce Lee cracking jokes and all this humor going around, and Tarantino's not only style of humor but of violence too.
Yeah.
And knowing that this is set against
a real life horrific murder.
Yeah.
That's murders plural.
Yeah. And they went on to murder other people after they left that party.
Yeah.
Man, it was and he didn't do the crime. It was again his followers that did it. But still, man, that's why he got locked up. First of all, I know his ass was crazy. But second, they said, the fact that you even convince people to do some shit like this, you got to go.
Yeah, we can't have you.
We can't have a brain out there that's like this. I just don't know how I'm gonna. I'm excited about a lot of things, but after seeing what's in this trailer here, and after knowing what this is set against, I have a lot of caution.
Well, keep in mind, like, they could just play it to where, like, something happens, they get to know her, and then she just kind of, like, dies off camera or something like that happens.
I'm thinking that.
Like, I'm hoping Tarantino has, and this is something that's going to be new to him, restraint, that he's able to, like, pull himself back and be like, all right, I can't show a true crime happen on film and have like blood squirting everywhere like somebody's playing Mortal Kombat out here. I know that's like his signature thing, but he can't do that.
I can't remember if he's done it in his later movies, but in the early movies, there was always that scene that took you out of your comfort zone. That was always like squirming, like, Jesus, all right, I was not expecting.
You can take that in his own violent, exaggerated, cartoonish world. But now we're setting this against real people. And I just don't see. I mean, look. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. It might not be a big deal at all. But I really feel kind of weird about his style of violence set up against real world violence, where it's not funny.
Yeah.
And it's not stylish. I don't know. That's the only thing that's holding me back. Other than that, I mean, I would be crazy excited about this if it weren't for that.
He could go the route of Jackie Brown. Like, he could go back to his old thing. That wasn't really cartoonish violence when people got shot in trunks and things like that. Exactly.
And that's why I'm thinking we might have sort of the same flavor here, which is why I'm excited about him returning to something like this.
Right.
He's tired of all that silly shit.
I like that silly shit, man. There's a place and time for it.
No, there's a great parts of it. Let me ask you a question. What is So out of did you like Kill Bill and Crazy 8 and
Yeah, I love
Glorious Bastards?
I love Kill Bill Part 1. Part 2, I'm not a big fan of.
See, I'm flip flopped on that.
See, I've talked to people like that. They're like, yo, I feel like, the pace in this one was better, da-da-da. But, like, I like the first one more because it was just like, I got to go. I'm about to get this dude. Anybody getting in my way is getting cut up. Yeah. And I was like, all right, that's dope. But then the second one, it just kind of like, it slowed down to a snail's pace. And I was just like, all right, I'm trying to get through this. Yeah. All right, there go David Carradine. He about to jerk off in the closet somewhere.
I hate the end of the second one.
Yeah. And so it's just like, all right, I'm not really into this. Yeah. But, like, all of his other films I love. Like, I was praising the hell out of Hateful Eight when it came out.
I actually, I guess, and see, this is a preference, man. I mean, this is why this appeals to me, even though I have, I have a lot of hesitancy with this. Jackie Brown, I love Pulp Fiction. I love Reservoir Dogs, but Jackie Brown is the one I always found myself watching. Like,
that's a great film.
I'll watch on repeat all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, one night I was working. It used to be on Netflix, and it's gone.
It
now.
was, yeah.
And I had that shit on a loop, just playing. That thing must have played for like 5 hours.
You driving me crazy?
Well, no, it's before.
Okay.
It's before I even met her.
Yeah, she could turn that shit off.
No, that shit would be. No, it would be off after the first viewing. I'm not watching him anymore. But nah, man. So I guess that's why I like this, because I feel like maybe this is something. Oh, shut up, Bruce Lee. This is something that I would never say that to him, by the way. No, this is something that is returning to the feel of Jackie Brown.
Well, I would say, like, out of all of his trailers, this one was the most, like, giving you not much of what the story is going to be about, because, like, everybody, you saw the trailer for Inglourious Basterds, Hateful Eight, and everything else, and you kind of get like, all right, this is what this movie is about. Yeah. But watching this, you're just like, I have no idea what's going to be happening here.
True. Very true. Mark, you hadn't said a whole lot. How you feel about it?
Well, I've been agreeing with you for the most part. I love the look and the music, and I'm always a little hesitant about saying, oh, it's him returning to form, because I was like, yeah, I don't put myself out there like that, because it's a recipe for heartbreak.
Yeah.
But he could easily make it fun, but then have it turn to where, okay, now it's serious and gruesome, and everybody's into true crime now, so I could see him just going for it. And it might not be something I prefer, but he has a way. When he's on, he's very on.
He might be making I'm glad you put it that way. I didn't even think about that. He might be making a really good true crime story too. I mean, we might see some things where it starts out kind of light and then it gets very dark. Yeah. He takes it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm eager, y'all. I'm not, we're just talking, we're just criticizing. Some people like say, don't you say shit about Quentin Tarantino.
What was the last like Quentin Tarantino film that you were like a big fan of that he came out with?
Pulp Fiction.
Damn.
Didn't like Jackie Brown?
I honestly, I wasn't crazy about Jackie Brown as a book. I think he made some improvements on it, but structurally, I'm not crazy about it. It's a movie that's all set up until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you rattle off the other movies, and there's parts of them I like, but then there'll be something major in them, whereas like, but overall, I'm not that crazy about it. Probably the one I've liked the most since then. Well, I mean, I still like Jackie Brown. Yeah. But probably the only one I can say I've actually liked for the most part since then was The Hateful Eight.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing is, I enjoyed Hateful Eight. Didn't love it, though.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but I did like it.
Didn't need that 11-minute ass intermission in there either, trying to just be like old movies. So let me just play the movie. This ain't 1973, all right? I know you want to go back, but I don't. I want to go home.
You were speaking to a hipster god.
I know.
Question his motives.
I know. Let me shut up and just say, coming out July. What? We don't know yet, but the 9th film from Quentin Tarantino. It's a national holiday for hipsters out there.
All right. I mean, old hipsters.
And old hipsters alike. Thank you for watching, everybody. I know you've already given us a lot of your time, but can I ask you one more thing, and that is to press the subscribe button. And if you really like what we do, if you love what we do, go to our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the longer form version of this video and also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.